昨日じゃないよ。1個前の動画が、なんか、マイクオフだったみたい。ちょっとどこだっけ？ここすごくない？何ここ？突然。あ、ちょっと酔ってるから酔いそう。って。刑務所みたいなとこには、誰？あ、人。
Now that we've taken your DNA, we can begin. Interview of suspect Michael Clark, 6 p.m., March 30th, 2019. This interview is being recorded.
By elves behind the mirror, no doubt?
You were arrested at a crime scene where you damaged police barricade tape.
I'll pay for a new roll.
That's a Class A misdemeanor, and it carries a $500 fine.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
To begin with, where were you on the night Daisy Armstrong was kidnapped?
I was watching TV in my motel room, but I had my police scanner on. I heard the first reports that the little girl was missing. No way the police at the scene were gonna let me get close. I set my alarm so I could get on the story first thing in the morning and tried to sleep. It was difficult.
Can anybody confirm where you were?
No, afraid not. I was alone and sleepless. A sad combination. And I realized a bad alibi.
話ちょっと聞いてなかった。どうしよう。これで行ってみよう。
Let's move on to the gas cans and what we found in your pockets when you were brought in here today.
That sounds exciting.
何
In addition to the gasoline in the back of your pickup and another in the bunker, you had a lighter and gloves in your pockets. You were going to set fire to the bunker and every scrap of evidence inside.
Where to begin? I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I wasn't planning to use these things to destroy the crime scene. I've been around crime scenes my entire career. I brought the gloves so as not to contaminate it with my fingerprints. The gas can in the back of my pickup, I use it to put gas in the truck. Gas stations are few and far between in your mountains. I didn't know there was a gas can in the bunker. If that's true, I did you a favor. My arrival obviously scared off somebody planning to burn everything.
Do you also have an excuse for your lighter?
The lighter? I'm trying to quit smoking. I use the lighter as a reminder not to start again.
戒めてライター持ってるって何だ？
You say you're a journalist, a stringer for Channel 6 News in Boston.
I sell my stuff to lots of media outlets.
How is your editor doing?
Last time we spoke, she was fine. But that was months ago.
What's her name again?
I work for lots of stations and lots of editors.
She knows your name, but you don't remember hers?
I'm not great with names.
It's Kelly Johnson.
Oh yeah, Kelly.
I just made that name up.
Good for you.
Her name is Abby Wilson. Mr. Clark, you lie like you breathe.
Huh. Well, that was mean.
He
thinks he's invincible. I need to play his ego. That's the key. What are you doing in the Berkshires? And what is your connection to the Armstrong case?
For the past few months, I've been working on a big case. Boston 6 News was looking forward to my next story. The Armstrongs have been on my list of potential targets for a long time. I changed gears when Daisy was kidnapped and started investigating the Armstrongs.
嘘、無理かも。
I need proof, not guesswork.
ちょっと待って。
It won't be easy to prove he's lying.
無理無理。どうしよう。
Find some evidence.
刑事には向いてないかもしれない。
I don't see anything that proves he's lying. So you just stumbled on a major kidnapping story during your stay in the Berkshires.
Yeah, I was researching PCBs in the river for crying out loud. Then, wow, the Armstrongs. That's not a Science Sunday report. That's a lead. Sometimes you just get lucky.
Your press card says Boston 6 News, and you say you started working on the Armstrong case when little Daisy was abducted, but Boston 6 News didn't even know you were on site.
Detective, if I had the inside track on this case, do you think I'm gonna go only to Boston 6? I could have had a bidding war for my... I'm gonna use the word, my scoop.
It still doesn't sound quite right. But there is a warped kind of logic to his story.
I called Boston 6 News. Your editor said she hadn't talked to you in a long time. If you're working on the Armstrong case, why haven't you submitted anything during the last month?
When the kidnapping occurred, I realized it was a golden opportunity. Forget intimate photos of the rich and famous. Here was a story that just dropped into my lap. I was about to turn in my first notes when I overheard the discovery of the cabin, and I was right. No other journalist got there ahead of me. Then you had to turn up. I need to get out of here and write my copy.
That sounds plausible. He's on the spot when a big story erupts and he goes after it.
Your camera in the pickup. There were photos of Daisy from before she was kidnapped.
The Armstrongs are a famous family like the Kennedys or Hollywood couples. Gossip sites love them. People want to see how they live. I started out just stealing candid shots. Paparazzi live on getting that one exclusive shot. Steamy, intimate, whatever. Then when the kidnapping happened, I realized I was here first. What an opportunity, and I jumped at it.
You have an answer for everything.
You're not very good at this, are you? How long have you been on the job?
Long enough to put you away for life, if you killed that little girl.
感情的になってる。よくない。
Let's start with why you went to the cabin.
If the police were interested in it, I was interested in it.
何の話？
How did you find the cabin?
Police radio. I heard the forensic team getting directions. Then, when they finally left the scene late this morning, I jumped in my pickup and hurried on up the mountain.
You tore the tape at the entrance to the property and stomped all over the house. This constitutes a serious violation of a crime scene, Mr. Clark.
I'm aware of that. I'm sorry. I'll pay the fine. But I got carried away. It isn't often I get a crime scene all to myself.
He's enjoying himself. I need to throw him off balance somehow. Surprise him into making an error.
Explain to me again how you got to the crime scene.
I listened in on the police radio frequency. Anybody can do it with a scanner. I headed for the crime scene in my trusty pickup, like I've done for years. After the forensic team left, I needed to see the crime scene for myself. I got to the bunker just before you arrived.
You said you've been driving that pickup for years?
You heard right. Thanks to it, I never miss a story.
I found your driver's license in your truck.
It's not a great picture, but it's me all right.
If it's a fake, it's a really good one. Looks authentic.
You say you've been using your pickup for years, but the title certificate is not in your name. The truck belongs to somebody named Stephen Baker.
Okay, I don't get why the pickup is so important to you, but I guess my ego made me say that. Yeah, the pickup was lent to me by a friend. I couldn't afford it even with a loan.
I think you stole it, Mr. Clark. You needed a pickup like that for our mountain roads, so you stole that one.
Try proving it. But while you run off on some wild goose chase, you can't hold me.
I know that Clark is lying. I need to reconstruct the whole sequence of events in order to understand what happened.
なんだって意味わかんないこと言ってるよ。こっちか。で、えちょっと待ってよ。
detective gets it right.
I'll tell you what really happened. You waited until forensics left and arrived in your probably stolen pickup. You grabbed a can of gasoline from your truck. You then went into the cabin to check if Daisy had been found. You then went straight to the bunker to see if it had been discovered, planning to set it on fire and destroy all the evidence inside. Before you could start the fire, you heard me arrive. So you hastily left your gas can and closed the hatch. You didn't think I could open the bunker. If I hadn't found you, I expect you would have burned down the cabin too.
I'm not going to make fun of you, Detective, or how you handled my interrogation. You're obviously very new at this. I swear I'm telling the truth. I didn't know the bunker was there until the moment you showed up. I seem to have trumped your entire police force.
When I get the DNA results from the bunker, we'll continue this conversation.
You have no concrete evidence against me whatsoever.
The lab results will be in soon. You won't get away with this.
無理じゃないかと。
See that call? That's your arrest warrant and a one-way ticket to prison. I'll be right back. Hello, sir. I think I found the man who kidnapped Daisy Armstrong. I'm interrogating him now.
Hold on, Detective Locke. I have some bad news. Someone set fire to the cabin in the bunker. The fire department is on the scene, but they say it's too late.
That's impossible. My suspect has been in the interrogation room with me all evening.
We can't hold him. Suzanne Moreau. Her fingerprints are on the wine bottle found in the cabin. We also found an unknown person's fingerprints, but they don't match your suspects.
Sir, with all due respect, I'm convinced Michael Clark is involved.
Detective, I'm cutting you some slack already. But we cannot hold your suspect simply because you're convinced he's guilty. We have evidence that Suzanne was working with an accomplice, Noah Garrity. I order you to release the reporter and arrest this Moreau.
Let me just check my last lead. The DNA analysis of the hair found in the bunker safe. The results just came in.
I know how hard this is. Okay. Get the DNA results. Detective Locke, I will give you 1 hour maximum. Then you close the file and arrest Suzanne Moreau.
Thank you, sir.
ギャリティ・ノアみたいな誰だっけ。この誰かにいるとか。あ、ギャリティ・ノアみたいな誰。彼氏か。この人が今燃やしたってこと？やっぱ悪い人だったんだ。なるほどね。そうだと思ったら変だったもんね。おお。
An extra computer so I don't have to go all the way out to my desk. This is all a game to him, and he doesn't. Case files. A lot of them for our tiny town. The only comfortable chair in the whole... I'll add these to the file. Anything that will erase Clark's smile. An extra computer so I don't have to go all the way out to my desk.
Who did you call earlier?
An editor from the Boston 6 News.
An editor you repeatedly said should fire you. That was your accomplice, wasn't it? You were telling him to start the fire.
An accomplice?
ジョナスって誰だっけ？ジョナス。ジョナス。
I know it was Jonas you called.
Jonas? I don't know anyone called Jonas. Really, Detective, I'd like to leave now.
Stay right where you are. I'm not done with you yet.
Wow. Do I hear grounds for a lawsuit?
Some poor innocent woman is being accused instead of you. You set her up, didn't you?
You have to let me go, Detective.
All I need is one more phone call to the lab. I know it's you, and I'm going to prove it. Hello, this is Joanna Locke. I need the results of the DNA test I asked you for.
Hi, Detective. Sorry, we only have the DNA sequence. We haven't had time to compare it with the suspects yet. It'll take 7 more hours. I'm sorry, but you are not the only one on the waiting list.
Send your analysis to my computer in the office. I'll do the comparison myself.
I need authorization.
I have a murderer who is going to walk free unless I get those results now.
Fine, we'll send it to you right away, but I'll have to log this.
It's my last chance.
私でやるんだ、もうめんどくさい。おい、無理だよ。待ってくれよ。え、待ってくれよ。何の話？ああ、ああ。ち気が狂いそうだ。こんなんやる必要ある私が。
No. No! Suzanne? I don't understand. I was sure it would be Clark's hair. I'll have to let him go.
いいの？
You can leave.
Sorry it didn't work out for you, Detective. Maybe you should consider a career change.
We are not done.
Oh, but we are, my dear. We are done.
I had no choice but to return to the Armstrong house to arrest Suzanne Moreau.
Eh, どうすんの？
The arrest warrant for Suzanne Moreau.
ウォンテッドって書いてある。
Suzanne was set up by Clark and Noah.
間違えました。ごめんなさいね。
They are the kidnappers, but I'm not giving up. When Suzanne comes up for trial, I will fight for her defense. But for now, the district attorney is in charge. If I want to stay a detective, he always has the last word.
情報
The door is wide open. How strange.
死んでるもしかして。
Hey, is anyone there? Miss Moreau? Miss Moreau? This is Detective Locke. Miss Moreau, can you hear me? It's me, Detective Locke. You must get up now. Miss Moreau? Miss Moreau, can you hear me?
Suzanne Moreau is dead. There are no traces of blows or injuries on her body. She doesn't seem to have defended herself from anyone. She must have realized at last how she'd been used, and the self-righteous court of social media was as quick as usual to try and convict her. Suzanne was telling the truth about her mother. Suzanne's diary is missing. The glasses are missing.
やばいよ、いろいろなくなっている。
It appears Suzanne killed herself by ingesting all
殺さ
these
れたん
drugs.
だよ。
I called the district attorney to inform him.
This is Detective Locke, sir. I'm at the Armstrong house.
Have you arrested Suzanne Moreau?
She's dead, sir. Apparent suicide, but I need a forensics team.
She killed herself out of remorse for her part in the crime.
We don't know that yet. I'm calling forensics now, but I wanted you to know.
What a mess. Stay on site until forensics arrive.
Yes, sir. Standing by.
The investigation was officially closed. I was certain that she was innocent, and Clark had been responsible for 4 deaths and then vanished into thin air. With $1 million. Dollars marked, though, and not easily spent. I didn't care if the case was officially closed.
I swore, Mr. Poirot, whatever it took, I would hunt him down.
おー、今日はここまでですね。眠たい。
I waited for the forensics team, then went into the station to write my report. I was officially off the case.
Thank you, mademoiselle. That obviously cannot be the completion of your story. If I might ask a question?
Of course.
ラチェットって誰？
Suzanne Moreau's boyfriend, the one who manipulated her and burned down the cabin. This was Ratchet?
No, he was an accomplice. Clark, the phony journalist, was the leader.
Michael Clark, the reporter. He was Ratchet?
Absolutely. I was the only law enforcement official to question Clark. I knew this wasn't his first kidnapping.
You looked for similar cases. What do you Americans call the MMOs?
Means, motive, and opportunity. Yes, I looked for someone in plain sight. Someone on the edge of a kidnapping case. Someone in plain view, keeping track of the investigations. An innocent witness, a concerned neighbor, even another reporter.
And eventually you found a name behind an alias.
Yes, I found a name. Cassetti, the real name. The real name of the man you call Ratchet is Cassetti.
This explains much, mademoiselle, but not all.
It explains why she is our #1 suspect.
But not how she came to be on this train. Attends, she has grown pale.
I don't know what's wrong with me. Excuse me, Mr. Poirot. I don't feel very well.
You are exhausted and still feeling the effects of the drug. Stay with us, mademoiselle. One more effort. I need to know your recent movements.
I snuck aboard the train.
This I observed. You came directly to this room?
Yes, and other than a couple of careful trips to the ladies yesterday, I never left this room. I didn't want to be spotted by Ratchet. Yesterday, I chatted with my roommate, Miss Schmidt, I think, here in our room. She brought me some dinner. I got very sleepy, and
nodded off.
And now she nods off again. Is this a joke? She must be faking, so we can't interrogate her further, Poirot.
No, Book. She really seems to have fallen asleep again. It is my fault. She must have been given a dangerous dose of sleeping pills last night. The effects should wear off soon, I hope, but I am afraid asking her to tell us her story was too much for her.
Pinch her, Poirot. She's faking.
Her eyes are dilated. She is not faking, and there will be no pinching. Dr. Constantine, please stay with her. Monsieur Book, ask the other passengers to gather in the dining car. There are still many questions I need to ask.
But all of them together? Won't someone overhear your questioning the others?
I will speak softly because I am trained to do so. They will speak softly because they want to.
Very well. I will do as you say.